What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things box. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. Yeah, so let's get into this one. This video here, I'm just going to talk a bit about Saul Canelo Alvarez. And since he lost over the weekend, Saturday night, many people are saying, is his career over? And that's what I want to really sort of discuss and get into in this video. Is it career over for Saul Canelo Alvarez? And I mean, in a sense, you could argue yes, it is because he lost to the smaller man coming up in weight. So I think, PR wise, this does look very bad on him. The fact that he's lost to a guy that's never been in the weight division before, and he's lost all his titles. So he's kind of, in a sense, back to square one. So you could argue that yeah, that's it. He's done. But I was looking at also in another sense that at the end of the day, you look at his career, he's beaten so many spectacular names, the likes of Miguel Cotto, the likes of Shane Mosley. He's been in there with Floyd Mayweather, been and beat Sergey Kovalev, albeit, okay, he was diminished at light heavyweight, but yeah, he's been in there with all these massive names. Lara controversially beat him. And I suppose you could also argue that when he has lost, he's lost to these superb fighters. I mean, he's lost to guys that you can say are like, generational talents. You think first lost to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, Floyd Mayweather's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest fighters in recent history. So, yeah, it's a loss, but you look back on it and you say, well, the guy's an all-time great. So everybody pretty much lost to him. You look at Dmitry Bivol again, a guy that's only lost to Beterbiev, got the win back, and he's the supreme king of the light heavyweights at this moment in time. He is the best light heavyweight in the world, superb fighter. So again, he's going to go down as a great fighter, probably an all-time great, Dmitry Bivol. And then you look at Terence Bud Crawford, and smaller man, absolutely, but in terms of how great he is, how exceptional he is, and what he's this is the first ever free division undisputed champion. He's undisputed in three different weight divisions, and that's who you've lost to. So it's one of them that I think, yeah, in terms of how Canelo looked in the ring, yeah, he did. I would say he did look disheartened. I would say in the ring, he looked very frustrated against Terence Crawford. He looked like he'd sort of ran out of ideas, and he at certain times in the fight, he looks like he really had no answer and he didn't know what to do, and he admitted as much in the post-fight interviews when they asked him, well, what was it about Crawford? Was it the speed? Was it the movement? Was it a foot speed? What was it about Crawford that was so difficult for you? And he was so honest, and he just said, well, it was everything. He said, I couldn't deal with the style. I just couldn't figure the style of Terence Crawford out. So he found Terence Crawford too difficult of a puzzle to solve. So he's beaten there by, yes, the smaller man, but by a guy that is a great fighter. A generational, once in a generation talent. You know, pretty much an all-time great. So yeah, weight wise, yeah, it looks bad, but I mean, in theory, it's not that bad, I suppose, because just because of how great Terence Crawford is. So it looks bad on paper because of the weight, but yeah, Canelo, he's lost to someone there that's a Hall of Famer and one of those great talents that you don't see very often. So I think, yeah, Canelo, he seems that he seemed quite content, even though he lost, and I think he will go on to fight again. And yeah, I'm not sure how much he's got left, but I reckon at a certain level, he can sort of come back and fight. But I think, yeah, any talk of sort of, you know, a rematch against Crawford, he'll get beaten there. Um, you know, even I suppose Benavidez is tied up with Yard, but even if Benavidez was to drop back to super middleweight and fight, you'd probably favor Benavidez over him, given the way he looked. Um, a crazy sort of wild card you could throw in there is someone like maybe Boo Boo Andrade, who'd been sort of avoided by Canelo. Maybe you could get that on, and that make you know get that fight on. Um, he's coming off of a loss to Benavidez, and Canelo's coming off of his loss. I think that could be perhaps a fight. Although I heard Andrade was actually calling out Terence Crawford, but yeah, I think with Canelo, yeah, for them it looks like probably it is career over for him. But I think at a level below Terence Crawford, he can probably still carry on and still have a couple of fights. But yeah, he looks like maybe the fire's gone out of him a bit, and maybe he looks like a little bit diminished. So I would say he can carry on, but probably not for much longer. I don't think he'll carry on for that much longer based on what I've seen. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.